Welcome back to the Country Bumpkin Oven. We're going to make some homemade tasty banana nut bread. We're going to start out with 5 cups of all-purpose flour, and I've got most of it sifted into a bowl. And you want to sift all your dry ingredients together when you're mixing this so it makes the bread light and fluffy. So 5 cups of all-purpose flour. We've got 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and then the recipe doesn't call for this, but I added as kind of my own little special twist, and it's 2 teaspoons, I can't talk, of cinnamon. We're going to finish sifting all that together in the bowl. You want to get as much of that out of the sifter and into the bowl as you can get, because you can't wash a sifter if you don't already know that, because the water will rust the grapes in the bottom and you can't use it anymore. Okay, so we've got that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little well in the bottom of the dry ingredients. Mix all that together. And we're going to make just a little well in the bottom of the dry ingredients so that we can add the wet ingredients into that. Okay, so we're going to set that aside for a minute. And we're going to take 5 ripe bananas, and we're going to play monkey, because most people peel the bananas from the top, but the monkeys would peel them from the bottom. And the reason for that being they peel better. So we're going to take all of those and put them in a bowl. Okay, and when you're making this, the ripe bananas are better because it makes the bread moist when it comes out of the oven. So don't worry about them being a little overly ripe. It makes for a better banana nut bread. And we're going to take just a pastry mixer and kind of mash these up really good. If you don't have one of these, you can use 2 knives or a big fork and mix them all together, make them nice and mushy. Okay, so we have our bananas all mashed together. We're going to set those aside for just a minute. And now we're going to take 3 eggs, and when you're baking with eggs, always open them in a separate bowl besides the one you're going to put them in, to make sure you get all the shells out and you don't get any eggs with yucky stuff inside them. Okay, so we've got 3 eggs. We're going to just kind of lightly mix those up a little bit. To that, we're going to add a cup of milk or buttermilk, whichever you prefer. Okay, we've got our flour with the well in the bottom. We're going to add 3 cups of sugar. Mix that up a little bit. Okay. We're going to add our milk egg mixture to the well. Stir that up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to just lightly mix this up a little bit. And then we're going to add 12 teaspoons, so 3/4 of a cup of stick butter. And that's going to be a whole stick and half of another one. And I know that's a lot of butter, but we're going to wind up making 3 loaves of bread with this recipe. And keep your wrappers off of your stick butter, because that's really good to grease the bottom of your pans when you're making bread or cakes, and you don't have to use regular baking spray. And that's what I call using the whole stick. So I'm just going to soften that a little bit and add it to our mixture. Okay, then we're going to add our bananas. All this mixed in good. Okay, so we've got all of our dry ingredients and our butter mixed together. Now we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix that up. And then optional, depending on what your family likes or what you like, are the pecans. And I get the pecans that are pretty mixed up real well, chopped up good. And I'm going to add about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of pecans and mix those in. Just until it's all mixed together, the pecans are coated good, and then you're ready to go. Okay, now we're going to make, like I said, 3 loaves of banana nut bread. And we're going to take our wrappers that we've used before, okay, that we've kept in the freezer, open them up, and the butter that's on the outside of those, we're going to rub that inside our pans. To keep the bread from sticking. Okay, so we've got the inside of all of our pans greased, and now we're just going to take our mixture and put in the 3 pans as equal as we can get it to make our loaves. And I'm real messy about this. I don't care how it looks. Unlike a cake, you don't really have to do this, but that gets the bubbles out of it. Okay, we're going to put it in a 350-degree oven, and we're going to bake it for 1 hour to 1 hour and 15 minutes until you can take a toothpick and insert it in the bread and it doesn't come out with banana and gook on it. So I'll see you back in 1 hour. Okay, so we've let our bread cook for 1 hour at 350 degrees, and now it's ready to take out. You can really smell the cinnamon on those. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that brown color. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to test it and make sure that it's done. We're just going to stick a toothpick in about the middle portion of the bread, and it should come out clean. So the bread's done. We're going to let it cool in the pans for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to take it out and slice a piece and eat it while it's hot. Okay, so we've let our bread cool for about 5 minutes. Now we're going to take it out of our pan. And remember, we grease the bottom of the pans with the butter wrapper, so they come out nice and easy. And we're just going to take any serrated knife. Anytime you cut bread, make sure you use a knife that has the serrates on the end of it. And don't run your finger across it too hard. And we're going to get my daughter Jennifer to taste it and see how the first piece of bread comes out. Isn't it hot? It's hot. Lovely. So just take a little nibble, don't burn your tongue. See the smoke?
Oh, it is hot.
Just a little nibble.
Good. But
Yummy,
really
yummy.
hot. Really,
Yummy,
really
yummy.
hot.
And that's from the country bumpkin oven.